What if the one who left with reckless abandon came back, and everyone cheered, except you? This is not just a story about a lost son. It's about the one who stayed, faithful, obedient, overlooked, and quietly hurting. It is a story about rebellion and repentance, about love that waits, and grace that surprises. This is the story of the prodigal son. A wealthy man had two sons. One day, the younger son approached his father with a shocking request. "Father, give me my share of the inheritance." In that culture, this was more than rude. It was as if the son was saying, "I want your things, but I don't want you." And yet, the father said nothing. He divided his property, and he let his son go. The younger son packed his life into bags and left for a distant land, a place with no rules, no accountability, no father watching. At first, life was sweet. Money bought pleasure. Freedom felt intoxicating. But freedom without wisdom is fragile. Soon, the money ran out. A famine struck the land, and the son who once lived like a prince was now feeding pigs, unclean animals, and longing to eat their food. That is how far he fell. One day, he came to himself. He remembered home, the warmth, the table. Even the servants lived better than this. So he rehearsed a speech. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants." This wasn't confidence. It was desperation. But repentance always begins in the dust. So he stood up, and he walked home, while the son was still far off. The father saw him, not because he was close, but because the father had been watching, waiting, hoping. The father ran, an undignified act for a man of his status. He embraced his son. He kissed him. He didn't wait for the apology to finish. The son tried to speak, but grace interrupted him. "Bring the best robe. Put a ring on his finger. Put sandals on his feet. My son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." And there was a celebration. Music, dancing, joy. But not everyone was happy. The older son was in the field, working, obeying, being faithful. When he heard the music, he asked what was happening. "Your brother has returned," the servant said, "and your father has killed the fattened calf." The older son was furious. He refused to enter the house. So the father came out again, and the older son exploded. "All these years I've served you. I never disobeyed you. Yet you never gave me even a young goat to celebrate with my friends. But this son of yours, who wasted your property on wild living, you celebrate him." The older son was physically close to the father, but his heart was far away. He didn't see his father as loving. He saw him as unfair. He didn't see his brother as lost. He saw him as undeserving. And the father replied gently, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate. Your brother was dead and is alive again." This story is not just about the prodigal who left. It is also about the faithful who struggle with grace. You can be in the house and still miss the heart of the Father. Obedience without love can quietly turn into bitterness. God's grace is not a reward. It is a gift. The younger son represents those who wander far and return broken. The older son represents those who stay close, yet secretly resent mercy. And the Father? He represents a God who runs toward repentance and walks patiently toward the offended. The story ends without telling us if the older son ever went inside. Because the question is left for us. Will you rejoice when grace is given to others? Or will you stand outside, counting what you think you deserve? No matter which son you are today, the one who ran, or the one who stayed, the Father is still inviting you in. Grace is still waiting. God bless you.